6 o'clock, and I now call the August 4th, 2025 Board of County Commissioners meeting to order. I do recognize we do have a quorum. Commissioner Long, will you lead us in our invocation?
Let's bow our heads. Lord, bless our pleasant assembly. Let us humble ourselves and be good stewards of all you have given us. As followers in Christ, we do not have to fret or force fruitfulness. But we know it is you, God, who cuts off every branch that does not bear fruit, while every branch that does bear fruit, you prune so that we will be even more fruitful. God bless Person County. Amen.
Amen. Commissioner Royce, will you lead us in our Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Members of the board, you have the agenda before you. I would like to add an adjustment with the addition of the energy program outreach plans for DSS to be added to the consent agenda as item 7D, and the addition of a closed session per General Statute 143-318.11A3 to preserve the attorney-client privilege. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Any further discussion? Having heard none, all in favor vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda's been approved. At this time, we will go into, do I have a motion to go into a public hearing?
So moved.
All right, we have a motion. Any further discussion? All right, having heard none, all in favor vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. We're now in the public hearing with petition TA-02-25, a request by Blueberry Range LLC to define firearms education, training and education as used in the Person County Plan Ordinance and allowed by right in the Rural Conservation District. Margaret.
Good evening, everybody. How are you?
Good.
So as indicated, this is a request from Blueberry Range in the person of Mr. Pilkington, who is here tonight, filed a text amendment. He has operated his club or lodge for firearm purposes for a little while, and with some changes at the state level with laws and just changes in how folks operate, he has learned that, or he believes that it will help his business if he can offer the range for more commercial purposes. He had thought that would be covered with the UDO, and since that's been backburnered, he wanted to go ahead and bring in a text amendment. This did go to the planning board. They conducted the public hearing. They had received it from me with changing the title of the use. They went back to what Mr. Pilkington had asked for, and with his permission made a few additional adjustments to the definition so that it is a use of a property for the discharge of archery devices and or firearms with a fee or membership basis indoors or outdoors. The use shall not operate beyond daylight hours, sunrise to sunset. The purpose of the discharge may be for skills development, training, or competition, and is subject to all state, local, and federal firearms laws. The use shall include classroom and or practical training and education regarding ownership, safety, handling, and marksmanship for the individual's recreation, hunting, or self-defense purposes. And so that is the definition before you. The request is to add this to the permitted use table and to allow it by right in RC, which is where Blueberry Range LLC is located on Gillis Road. The planning board did recommend approval.
Any questions for the director?
You don't happen to have a copy of the zoning map, do you? Just in your.
I don't. I would hazard a guess that maybe 3/4 of the county are zoned RC.
Right. So I would just point out in our packet that the planning director had suggested changing the name to commercial shooting range in presumably her words, to add transparency and clarity to the use and what activities would be allowed. I do think that gives more clarity to call it a commercial shooting range, and whether we call it that or not for this purpose, I think for the discussion, I wanted to raise that, and also to say that this is not just affecting this gentleman's property on Gillis Road. This is affecting, as you said, 3/4 of the county. So this would not be, something that, like a special use permit where letters went out to the neighbors. This would be changing, or adding this use as a use by right in RC. And I know we have some intensive uses in RC, but typically those others are gonna have some constraints based on landmass or utilities or highway access or rail access or whatever. And this one has very limited constraints. You could, conceivably do a shooting range on an acre of land, where you have no water or sewer or highway or whatever. So, I would feel more comfortable if this was a special use permit personally. That's my comment.
Any other questions for the director? All right. Madam Clerk, do we have anything to speak for or against?
No, sir, we do not.
All right. Do I have a motion to come out of the public hearing?
So moved.
All right. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? We're now out of the public hearing. What is the desire of the board?
Thinking of what Commissioner Wilburn has just shared, we want to be safe, and with her saying, the way this, and looking at this, this questioning, if anyone in the future would want to do this, would they, when she said the 1 acre of land, which is not really a lot, someone to have a shooting range. And then if we do this, they're able to do that. And you have people who may live nearby, bullets or whatever, have no name. And everyone aren't skilled. So, if we had more constraints, or as she has stated, special use, I think I would feel more inclined to agree with this.
And I think it was that point that drove the planning board to go back to the name
Okay.
that said it was a firearms training and education center, so that became the leading, and that is a shall part of the definition. So anyone who sets this up must provide on-site instruction
Okay.
for the handguns as a way to temper the use and address some of those safety concerns.
So it's not just a regular shooting range.
It's not Margaret's shooting range, it's Margaret's firearm safety school. And
Okay.
so, not everybody is gonna sign up to do that. It's a little bit different mindset that you start out with. And Mr. Pilkington is here if anybody has questions for him. I realize it applies countywide, but if folks have questions for him, now that the public hearing's closed.
Well, I'm in agreement with the planning board as written. That's just my opinion to it.
Well, is there anything now, so basically, as I understand it, if you wanna go out on your property and start shooting at targets,
You can.
so,
This is making it commercial where other people could come on your property and shoot at targets. So it's not just, if you have some leisure time on Saturday and wanna shoot on your property, it's opening up 7 days a week?
It is 7 days a week, it is daylight.
To as many people as want to come out and shoot.
And if I could, Mr. Long, with Second Amendment protections, you could probably, for non-commercial reasons, always shoot firearms on your property. But as Ms. Wilburn's pointed out, and Ms. House pointed out, the commercial aspect is what allows the county to regulate it.
okay.
All right. Any further discussion? All right. I will make the motion to approve as being currently presented. Any discussion around that motion? All right. Having hearing none, all in favor, please vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
All right, motion 3-1.
Yes, sir.
All right, item 5A, petition TA-303-25 to amend the Person County Planning Ordinance to correct reference and spelling errors, integrate language, creating an advisory boards, and requiring staff to post signs on the applicant's property to align with state law. Do I have a motion to go into the public hearing?
So moved.
All right, well, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion's approved. We're now in a public hearing. Planning Director.
Thank you. I highlighted some of these items a few months ago when I brought you a memo about what we could do to kind of modernize the ordinance a little bit. And so these were some of the most glaring errors that I found when I was looking through the ordinance. You did a good job getting the updates for 160D, but there were a few things that were missed. Apparently, Section 75 did used to be the setbacks, and now it's Section 72. So just a few minor things. They're not really significant, but I feel like they do make the ordinance a little bit cleaner and a little bit clearer. I think it is kind of important to move the ordinances that create the two advisory boards into the planning ordinance. The one for the Board of Adjustment is actually in the zoning ordinance for the airport. So I was tickled to be able to find it, and the one for the planning board is a standalone ordinance. So that's just the section about having staff post the public hearing signs. Right now we require the applicants to do that, and my strict rating of 160D is that that's not compliant, is that it says that the planning director shall post the property. So I think it would be best for us to go ahead and put that language in, regardless of what our practice is. I mean, meaning that if we did it and the ordinance still allowed the applicant to do it, it would still be better to have the ordinance correct. And that's basically it. I mean, it's just a summary of some minor updates and text changes. You have a strikeout version. I hope that was relatively easy for you to follow along. The planning board did also catch that the definitions of Board of Adjustment and Planning Board needed some adjustment to make sure that they didn't have extra powers or specify only some of the powers for the board. So that is language that's different than what was originally included, but close enough and consistent with what we were doing so that it was acceptable to bring forward, and happy to answer questions.
Any questions for the director? All right. Madam Clerk, do we have any to sign up to speak or against?
No, sir, we do not.
Do I have a motion to come out of the public hearing?
So moved.
All right. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. We're now out of the public hearing. What is the desire of the board?
Motion to approve petition TA 0325 as presented.
We have a motion. Any further discussion? Having hearing none, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion's been approved. Next item, we have 5C, petition TA-04-25, section 141C, amend zoning permit validity period to be indefinite once works begin and expire if a work is abandoned for 1 year to align with state law. Do I have a motion to go into the public hearing?
So moved.
All right, motion. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. We're now in the public hearing.
Thank you. That really kind of summed up exactly what we're doing here. Right now, the ordinance calls for zoning permits to expire if work does not begin within 6 months, but to also only last for 12 months, regardless of how long the project takes. There's actually no provision in state law for zoning permits to expire. And there are common law vesting provisions that say once someone starts to spend money in pursuit of a permit, that they can continue to work on it as long as they continue working on it indefinitely. And so to get our ordinance to line up a little bit better, I proposed this text amendment. Where the rubber hits the road of it is that when folks, it might take them a while for their project to get done. Maybe there's weather, maybe there's trouble getting supply chain issues or whatever. And they come in and they're working with building inspections to get their final inspection, and then, oops, it's 370 days from when they got their zoning permit. And then there's a hold on their permit, and they have to come in and pay again, to be able to move through and finish, and that just didn't really seem right, and it doesn't seem consistent with state law, so I brought forward this amendment so that we could, get this worked out and, get it in place before some of our really large non-residential projects come in, that there's no way some of these projects are gonna get finished in 12 months.
Any questions for the director? All right. Madam Clerk, do we have any speak in favor or against?
No, sir, we do not.
All right, do I have a motion to come out of public hearing?
So moved.
We have a motion. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. We're out of the public hearing. What is the desire of the board?
Motion to approve petition TA 0425 as presented.
All right, we have a motion. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it. Motion's been approved. Next item, item 5D, petition TA-05-25, a request to amend Person County subdivision regulations to add correct law, state law reference and insert amendment dates. Do I have a motion to go into the public hearing?
So moved. So moved.
So moved. All right. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. We are now in the public hearing.
Thank you. There were just a few sections in the subdivision regulations, and since it is a different ordinance, I felt it was better to process those separately from the zoning ordinance. And just 2 dates and a state law reference, please.
Any questions for the director? All right. Madam Clerk, you need to speak for or against?
No, sir, we do not.
All right. Do I have a motion to come out of public hearing?
So moved.
We have a motion. All in favor, vote by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We're now out of the public hearing. What is the desire of the board?
Motion to approve petition TA 0525 as presented.
All right, we have a motion. Any further discussion? Having hearing none, all in favor, please vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. The motion's been approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for cleaning that up and bringing
I'll
it to us.
work on getting these in the ordinance and posted on the website just as soon as I get back from vacation. So, thank you.
Thank you. Have a good vacation.
Thanks.
All right, item 6, informal comments. Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir, we have 2 individuals signed up tonight.
Okay. We have a 10-minute period. We will separate the time, 5 minutes each speaker,
Yes, sir.
and remind the speakers to address the commissioners as a whole, not individual commissioners, and please address the, do not address the audience. So, Madam Clerk, can you call up the first speaker, please?
Yes, sir, the first speaker we have is Cindy Chandler, and can I please instruct IT to set the timer for 5 minutes?
Hello.
Hello.
My name is Cindy Chandler. I live in the Timberlake area. I'm here to advocate for support of a youth football program for Person County. What brought me here? My 8-year-old son, who signed up with Parks and Rec for flag football for the last 2 summers with Coach Rufus Long. My son was so excited for the opportunity to learn the skills for football. And I learned that this year Mr. Long played professional football and has now decided to dedicate his time and energy to the youth of our county. He is working on the goal of a youth football program. He has the knowledge to connect our youth with a national football program called Pop Warner. One thing that our community would be able to do is to teach our children the fundamentals of football before middle school and high school. Imagine them already understanding the game before they reach middle school. We have so many strong sports in this county, in this community. I think that Mr. Long can improve and build on what we already have here. Another opportunity for our youth. So what am I asking? I'm asking for support from the county, a place for them to practice and play, a field to compete. It's just such a little thing. I'm willing to do my part to help Mr. Long with fundraising and equipment. I'm willing to ask, I'm asking for you, our county commissioners, to support him as well. The end result is a youth football program and support for our children locally instead of having to go outside of the county. I feel like that's important that there are a lot of parents that I've talked to who would be interested in football, and they're already going outside of our county to Alamance County and to Durham County because we don't have a regular youth football program in this county. So I feel like adding a football program and working with Mr. Long, who already has the expertise and the knowledge and has already worked to build, to try to start building a program would be a valuable asset and a valuable program for Person County.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
The next speaker we have is April Short.
And ma'am, after the meeting, if you can just give your information to the clerk, contact information, and thank you.
Hello, everybody. I had 2 things to speak about, but now I have 3 listening to her. My kid is also a kid that was coached under Mr. Rufus Long. He is very well with the kids. My kid was in the 10U football session, and from my understanding, they have nowhere to practice. I think we have to start investing in our youth. I've always spoke about that. I've been a big advocate for that, and our kids need it, and they deserve it. They need a place to practice, a place to play. Flag football was done because it was done at Olive Hill Park, but it can only be flag. It can't be touch or contact because they have no appropriate size field to play on. So if you guys could please help him, I do champion that, and I want to speak on that. And I don't know her, but I'm glad she came and spoke about that. So mentioning the second thing that I want to talk about technology and transparency. According to, from my research and looking at other counties, our county is so far behind when it comes to technology and having appropriate information readily available. You have to call this person, email that person, talk to this person, and that's prohibiting them and holding them up from their job. We need to invest in better technology for people to have information at hand. Speaking about transparency, that goes into when somebody signs up for a board or somebody wants to volunteer for something. There's no way to see who's actually on this board, who was selected, where's the transparency in those things. A lot of things we have to ask or have to call somebody or reach out to them and say something, or, hey, do you know this? And it shouldn't be like that. I feel like in today's age and time, things should be readily at our fingertips. We can send, it's crypto. We can send fake money across the internet, but I can't look and see information from my county. I don't understand that. I think some type of investment and more transparency needs to be had. That's the second thing. The third thing I want to lift up is Kimari Morgan. His mom was supposed to be here today. She's not here, so I'm standing and filling in the gap for her. The community still lift and support her and her family, and we are here, and we want to know I know you guys can't tell us, but I'm going to speak it. Where's the resolve? What's happening? We haven't forgot about him. We haven't forgotten about the situation. And there needs to be changes and plans and policy and how things are had. And I know you guys are probably, still working it out, but I just want to highlight that and to let her know that I'm pretty sure when they look at this back, there was somebody from the community standing here in her place, standing in the gap and filling in the need for her, and that we still lift them up even after the tragedy occurred. And the community still supports them. We just want answers. We need to know what's happening. Because there's a fear and there's a broken trust that you guys are trying to build up, but we need some traction, some movement. We need to know, and it's just sitting in the dark, which I know HR personnel and how that, things work, and you can't specifically say certain things or whatever's happening, but the community at large needs some type of traction or some type of information or update or a follow-up. They just need to know what's happening, because when you don't inform people and that transparency isn't there, we all know how small towns work. Rumors get started, things get bigger, and they all start going into something that it's not. So I'm just standing here and filling the gap for Miss Morgan and letting you guys know that we still champion them. We're still grieving with them, and we need some information. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes our informal comment period.
All right. Item 7, discussion adjustment and approval of the consent agenda. I do remind you that we did agree to add the item D, Energy Program Outreach Plan for DSS. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Mr. Chairman, I did send a correction to the minutes earlier today, just was one typo.
Okay, and can the, is that a motion to approve with the adjustment of the
Yes.
typo? Okay. All right. Any further discussion? All right, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it, motion's been approved. Chairman's report, I do not have anything at this time. County Manager?
So our Civics Academy registration opened on Friday. We have 9 applicants so far for 15 seats. So I encourage members of the public who'd like to learn more about county government to visit our website and use the link to sign up for that course. It will begin in early September, and we are offering it morning times, 9 to noon, throughout an 8-week period. But there are additional details on the website. And I would also just like to mention, we've shared information about the Small Business Administration opening the Disaster Loan Outreach Center in Durham. So that does assist small businesses, nonprofits, and residents in Person County who were affected by Tropical Depression Chantal. So we're trying to get that information out, so if anybody is in need of those services, they can make that connection.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Wilburn?
No report.
Commissioner Royster?
2 things. First, I attended the ribbon cutting.
That's right.
It's like Kyle was there.
I'll let you speak on that.
Ribbon cutting at the Sportsplex. No, I did not hike or anything. It was hot, but there was a lot of people there and a lot of support there, and it seemed to be a lot of fun. But again, I did not do any hiking or walk the trail at all. And the second thing, I would also like to highlight the football league. My son, he played 6U with flag football here, but now he plays with Green Level Trojans in Alamance County. And I was talking to, when I got there, and I saw so many other parents from Person County. And I think Cindy, is her name, when she spoke of that, I thought about how could we get those people here when she was talking, because we could not find a park for football practice, so that wasn't the family actually coming to a game. And with so many people from Roxborough there, and I know some going to Durham for their children to play football. And for the small township of Green Level, we had our meetings in the little town hall, and it's just a support of the community. And those kids go from 6U, like my son is in the youngest team, and they feed up 8U, 10U, 12U, and then they're already, ready when they get to middle school, and then they feed into the high school teams. And I can only think about the impact that would do for Person County, folk coming out to watch practices, the games. I heard we'll have our first game coming up, but just heard how much impact it's had on that community, not only financially in a sense, because you have people coming from other communities, but also those youth, like the number of kids on the field, and they're excited to be there and they're having fun. So pretty much basically what both of you said during your public comments, and I've always been an advocate of supporting our youth and investing in our youth. So I can also, Chairman, talk with you about that as well, about the football league, because as I said, there's a lot of kids in Person County, I know, in Alamance County right now playing football in elementary school. Yep. That's all I know.
Commissioner Long?
Well, I would like to put a little spotlight on our planning director. I had a citizen from a neighboring county call me and tell me that they had had a discussion with our planning director and how impressed they were with her professionalism. And they said they sure would like to get her down to their county, but we should be glad to have her up here. And I told them that we were, and that I was doing my best to twist her arm to make her come out of retirement, but she just insists she's going to retire. But he was very complimentary of you and how you tried to help him and how much you shared your knowledge, and so I appreciate that. That's it.
Thank you, sir. All right, at this time, do I have a motion to go into closed session per Virginia Statute 143-318, A3, to preserve the attorney-client privilege with the following individuals permitted to attend: County Manager Catherine Cathy, Clerk to the Board Michelle Solomon, County Attorney T.C. Morphus, and Interim Plan Director Margaret Harth. Do I have a motion, such a motion?
So moved.
All right, all in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. We're now in closed session. Thank you. to adjourn.
So,
We have a motion. All in favor, vote by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it. This meeting is now adjourned.
Mr. Chairman, I just